Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the afternoon session. I hope you have a good lunch and rest. And the afternoon session will start with the plenary session on green talent development to support bio-circular green economy in ASEAN. Today, we have representatives from members of ASEAN BCG network and an expert from academic sector to share perspectives and best practices on how to develop ASEAN manpower in the fields of agriculture and food, medical and wellness, bioenergy, biomaterial and biochemical, and tourism and creative economy to support the transition to green industry. Please welcome Dr. Enrico Paringit, Executive Director and the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, the Philippines. Professor Dr. Ansana Pratep, Dean, Faculty of Science, Prince of Songkhla University, Thailand. Datin Aznita Nazis, Vice President, Malaysian Bioeconomy Development Corporation, and our moderator, Assistant Professor Dr. Warajit Sethapan, Lecturer, Asian Development College for Community Economy and Technology, Chiang Mai Rajapat University. Please welcome.
Thank you very much to our MC for the kind introduction. So good afternoon, everyone. Oh, I'm not hearing anything. So after the nice lunch, usually the session after lunch is the most challenging. Our speaker, we have to be very engaging with our audience because they're starting to reach that level of food coma, okay? So we'll be talking, I think, about the topic which is near and dear to everyone's heart, and then and also the theme for the workshop that we have is ASEAN Talent Mobility, the Green Talent Development to enhance, it's very long, ASEAN Economic Co-Creation and Sustainable Society through STI-based solution. Basically, we need to use STI, science, technology, and innovation to drive the sustainable economy. So one model of the sustainable economy is BCG. Okay, does everybody know what BCG stand for? Okay, who do not, can I ask, who know what BCG stand for? Stretch for me, BCG. Okay, thank you. Okay, now one stretching. Okay, thank you. BCG is bio, circular, and green economy. It's the concept where which we can improve or drive our economy in a more sustainable, bio-based, green, and with less waste. More of a circular economy is zero waste. So today is the session on how might we develop the green talent to support the BCG economy in ASEAN. We have 3 excellent speakers. So as I said, the format will be, we'll have the speaker present. Each will present about 15 minutes. And then if there are any pressing questions, we can entertain the question, and then later on, after all the 3 presentation, we'll have more of a discussion, okay? So without further ado, I'd like to invite our first speaker, Dr. Eric, please. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. Good afternoon to everyone. It's always a challenge to be speaking just after lunch, but I do, you have your dose of coffee just to get by. But I hope to make also an interesting presentation for this afternoon. So I'm Eric Paringit. I'm from the Philippines. So we are from, we have a very long name. But we're a research council, so that means we provide support for making research, science, technology, and innovation happen. And it's within the sectors that we support. There are like 21 different sectors that we're interested in, and of course that includes those that are leaning towards green, no? Green processes, green technologies, and I'd like to explain a little bit more about this. With the new administration, which is just like 2 years out of the 6, we have reestablished or reprogrammed our priority areas into 4 major pillars, we call it: human well-being, wealth creation, wealth protection, and sustainability. So you'd actually be able to relate to elements of sustainability as well as on governance, but of course there are also items that are related to wealth protection. So that means also protecting the environment, protecting whatever natural resources are left with us. And of course, it also addresses aspects of resilience as a nation. So I'd like to touch on that. So that said, we have to keep things keep things a little bit greener this time around. No? You have to have that flavor of introducing or injecting areas where we might be able to understand more about the workings of being green, shift our manufacturing, our making processes to be greener, and then those that are left as residues, as wastes, as residuals, no, can be turned into something green. And then finally, if you cannot do anything else about those that we have produced, we can always, of course, keep things greener, and there are, of course, alternatives. So there are key initiatives coming from our Department of Science and Technology to support initiatives. Most of them, of course, will be on the research and development space. Some of them will be already bordering towards the innovation space. So that means we're now slowly transitioning some of these efforts in research and development into something that will be more tangible, something that will be more available, something that will be more accessible to people, to industries, and to society in general. This is a very busy slide. I don't really expect everyone to go through them, but it's a way for us to somewhat structure what we need to do in the next few years in line with the horizon of the administration. So this is now more or less consistent with the administration period. It contains there some of the key areas of development that we need to pursue in terms of research and development, in terms of human resource and capacity building, in terms of policy development, and in terms of facilities and services that we need to put up in order to make all of these things happen. At the USDP Shared, what we're essentially looking out for is not just on the R&D itself. We're also looking out for what we need to do prior to making research and development happen. So that means we need to support talent. So I think that's the name of the game for this session. It's trying to not just build the capacity, but also the capacity to do research, create new knowledge, and put this out there in the innovation space. But at the same time, we also need to ensure that they have the facilities that they need to put up, and at the same time, they have outlets, they have means by which they could engage communities, means by which they could also engage with the key industries, if not government, in making sure that the products of research and development are felt, seen, and sold. No? So these are just a rundown of the human resource and the institution development programs that we run on various stages. Incidentally, we even run a high school research and development program. We call this our Young Innovators Program. These are from 17, 18-year-old senior high school students. So one of the projects that they had was to actually develop solar-powered composting bins, no? Using green energy to actually make our environment greener. So those are one of the exercises that we pursue to start them young, as they say. We have also programs in order to develop research and collaboration within the regions. We divide the archipelagic Philippines into 16 geographic regions. But then we realized that each region has its own unique challenges in terms of looking out for their economy. So we need to support them at this level, and so we have this what we call a regional research institution. But at the same time, we've seen a lot of researchers that are coming off, of course, from universities, with all due respect, but sometimes some of them don't really have a very good touch with what's happening with industries, even with small enterprises, and we need them to link together, to find a way to be immersed and to understand the challenges that is besetting our industry. So we have this expertise program so that they can actually be mobilized to go into factories, go into manufacturing places, go into plants, just to understand how science and technology could actually be fostered in order to support collaboration. And then we have the what's so-called visiting expert program. This is actually also an invitation to some of the researchers and innovators that are out here. You could actually be invited to come to the Philippines and maybe share what you know or what you have with local researchers, so that you can have a free exchange of scientific, technical information, to move things faster along the research space. And then we have our, of course, research attachment and fellowship programs. Attachment is when a researcher actually goes into one research institution, and vice versa. You could have a fellowship program wherein one of the researchers in one foreign institution could be hosted by a local institution. So we just make those kinds of distinctions. On top of that, research talent is not born. They're grown, no? They're nurtured, they're trained. No? So, but we need the facilities in order to make things happen for them. So we need to provide both that capacity to put up their own laboratories, and then we have testing facilities that will allow them to actually test their prototypes, their products, their POCs at some level. And we have a line of facilities to help them just that, through these testing facilities. We also, in the governance space, we also are quite keen on supporting projects that are heading towards digitalization. So we call this the Goddess Project. We're actually putting out funds in order to make use of the digital data produced by government at different levels. It could be local government, it could be from national government agencies, it could be from our environment agencies, whose data are just lying out there. We just wanted them to actually realize what is the meaning of all of this. So through some kind of data science and analytics and even artificial intelligence, they could probably figure out what's besetting this sector. So one example of that is, we saw that structure earlier about making green out of the 4 pillars that I presented earlier. And one of the more important points is, how to shift the thinking of people into seeing green. And we say, okay, so what about if they plan, assess, and monitor the environment using technologies? And Plastic Count is one of them. It's a technology that actually evaluates marine litter. So the Philippines, being an archipelagic country, is often persecuted for being too, having to have to deal with marine plastic litter, and that's understandable. We are a coastal country, so but we need to, of course, address it. And then we also have projects on profiling of solid wastes, and then we also have projects that deal with waste and waste characterization. And leveraging on existing and current technologies like looking at satellite imagery, high resolution, in order to monitor the sources of the waste and their sinks, eventually. We did support government in finding a way to address the single-use plastic issue through the conduct of a life cycle assessment for SUPs. We started off with the very basic products, and we're expected to actually move it up to other plastic products that are out there through our EPR law. And we're gunning actually for the establishment of a testing facility that will try to determine compostability, biodegradability, and ecotoxicity of plastic waste. No? It could be bioplastics, but we need to determine this. Okay, one other area of development is to make actually things that are greener from the beginning, not as an afterthought. So by supporting, say for example, the development of technologies that will allow for processes that will not, that will reduce the amount of residue or byproducts, it will be better for our environment. So it's part of the circularity philosophy that we wanted to espouse. We wanted to also pursue green processes and technologies for construction as well as for making use of whatever wastes from agro-industrial wastes. And then there's a talk about waste valorization. If you already have the residues, if you already have the wastes, what are you going to do with them? And the thinking is that we need to make sure that we also have uses for these residuals that are coming out of certain processes. Because, so the thinking now is that if you have a waste from one process, it could be actually a raw material for another. And this could be from our agro-industries, this could come from mostly that can be used as a feedstock. And one example of that growing industry is PHAs, which are touted to be the replacement for the PLAs that are currently abound. And we're setting our sights in making sure that we have key processes and key industries that will make this happen. So it's tightly tied up with our key industry stakeholders, particularly those that are in the process, those that are producing the raw materials, and those that are coming off with the final products. I think this is still part of that menu. We're also looking at other waste from other processes. I think I will not go through them one by one, but I think we get the idea that producing waste is sometimes inevitable, but we need to also make sure that it goes through another set of processes so that it can be utilized to fruition, to produce some value. So anything, it can be from fish waste, as where you can form hydrosylates. It can be for geosynthetics that's used for construction. Well, the final or the ultimate situation is to get rid of the waste if you do not see any more value to it for other processes. And we need to develop processes, though, that will make it neutral at the very least and free of any possible emission that will be harmful to people and to the environment. We have also supported projects in the innovation space. So one example is Lestix. They've tried to produce some composites out of residual plastic products. The challenge is to sort them properly so that you could produce a more consistent product, like this roofing material that they use to actually for low-cost housing. So we also supported this. I mean, this might be something, not something new to somebody. In fact, this is well established, but we need to move forward with how to develop key enterprises that will actually move this forward and make this available to the market, even if it's less competitive than the ones that are out there. But I think they're looking at specific markets so that they would be able to be sustainable as a business. You have, reverse. You have this reverse vending machine. You put in the waste plastic, and then you get your money out of it. Somebody took on this idea and moved it forward, so it's now being made available to some communities in some key places for testing. And I think the most important point is to give them a chance to actually see the light of market penetration, no? Rather than just leaving them there to be researched on and on, no? With nothing in sight. We have to give way to opportunities for them to be adopted by industries, or to having them spin off like Nanotronics did for their nano-based, bio-based nanocellulose crystals, which are being used, which are being now developed for sustainable packaging. And we're seeing some great insights. Aside from that, in terms of policy development in the Philippines, we just actually started to talk about management of marine litter, and part of the conversation is to actually mainstream circular economy. So we're contributing to that by making sure all of our research projects and initiatives are aligned with the management of marine plastic litter, and to promote sustainable consumption and production. So it's nice to have the impetus or the imprimatur of policy and legislation to make things happen. If it's legislated, if it's passed on as a law, people will be compelled to comply. People will be compelled to actually follow rules in order to make this happen. And we even have, these are not yet passed on as laws, but we've begun to actually talk about legalizing or having a legislative initiative on circular economy. So I think this will be, and then we just passed on a law for a green jobs, which is actually the creation of, by incentivizing companies to provide jobs that will promote sustainability and conservation of environment. So we're having discussion for the implementing rules and regulations of this law. This will provide the necessary incentives for companies that will adopt green processes, maybe the ones that you saw earlier, get into being licensed as technologies. So that also will be very beneficial for those that are developing the technology. And if I may say, there is much opportunity to nurture and develop talent to have that green, when they say before, the green thumb, so maybe now it's a green hand. But we need, the important lesson is that it does not happen by accident. We need to nurture them. We need to develop the mindset. We need them to talk with each other so that they can gain more knowledge from each other and collaborate. I think that's the name of the game nowadays. People need to collab. Students now learn actually faster and better if they, group studies rather than just doing things alone. We just also need to nurture that talent by, allowing them to actually work together to solve key environmental problems, key problems of circularity and sustainability. Working on environmental research and technology is quite expensive, so we need to somehow exchange also not just talent or people, but also make sure resources are available to each other. Availability of equipment is quite an issue for testing, for example, for doing a lot of experiments, prototyping, developing samples, and even technologies that will allow people to survey and monitor the environment for the state of being green. And then finally, I've shown you glimpses of this towards the last parts of my presentation, wherein we also need to influence policy and decision making. And one way of doing that is to craft the equivalent policies that will allow us to develop, sustain, and support, or even regulate certain measures and allow practices for greening the environment. So I think that this will be the end of my presentation. I hope we've learned a thing or two about what we're doing there in the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eric. for your presentation from the overview of the circular economy roadmap until examples of various programs for talent development and then research program and ending with how we can collaborate. May I ask if there are any specific pressing questions now? If not, keep your question for now, and then we'll entertain at the end of the three presentations. So for the next presentation, I'd like to invite Dr. Antana to share with us regarding nature-based solution. Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I myself, being trained as a biologist, ecologist, that's my background. And it comes to the time that climate change happened, right? So the question would be how this simple ecology can help mitigate the climate at the moment. Along the way, from the student who really enjoy being in the field. From now on till now, I'm become a dean at the Faculty of Science. And the project happened because one of these days, it happened that we have a network of the science, and then PMUB, under the higher education of Ministry of Education of Thailand, come, and then we have a chance to really see, as a science, how we can help and then grooming the young generation to really help combat the climate. So it comes as a project that we work together under PMUB, the Science Council, the TGO, IUCN, GISDA, with the concept of having young green that helping with this climate combat. And then we adopt the concept of the nature-based solution. So allow me to really share what we have been doing. The project has been kind of started last year. So I share with you what we are having been doing so far and what would be the success story that we learned throughout this. This is the roadmap of Thailand that how we're going to come to the net zero or carbon neutrality. And of course, that is the concept of technology, energy transformation, EV, whatsoever. That's on the technology side of things. And then you have this nature-based solution along the way that you use nature to really help combat this climate. And then Thailand put the roadmap of in 2037, that if we really do something using this kind of nature, we're going to help remove 120 megaton carbon equivalent. So it comes the concept of nature-based solution. We have something with the number of 120. And this is, of course, is an international arena. So whatever we are doing, it has to be able to really trace back, be able to really go along the way. And how best to do this? Science, technology, innovation. So it along the way, develop the idea where we are with this nature-based solution. So keep that in mind. We have something around 120 megaton carbon equivalent using terrestrial, using teal and the coastal. So the concept of nature-based solution has been kind of adopted. And it has been talking in the COP in Glasgow. Some of the countries already adopted, like Madagascar, Sri Lanka, right? It has been adopted. Along the way as well, when we look at it, nature is good, right? It's happy, it's pretty. There is something like ecosystem service. It should make some money. Where the money come from? To really drive further, accelerate, having the incentive. So here it's come, the carbon credit, right? You have this nature lover, nature-based solution concept. It's good, but where actually that really drive this is it, the carbon credit. So the two things are kind of putting together. So we have to help developing talent, developing methodology, develop certain things that can be used internationally and can be converted into money. So what we are doing, looking into the Southeast Asian region, we are actually in the hotspot biodiversity. We are in the region that have a species richness, has a very beautiful coastline, have a rich biodiversity in terms of tropical, mangrove, and all the seagrass. These are the potential of the carbon storage, right? So we have something of the potential there. We have some of the area that we say that if we keep it, it's going to be good for the carbon mitigation. But if we are even doing better, increase, restore this kind of nature, it's come along not just only the carbon, but also the wellness, the biodiversity. There are something other like co-benefit. So the whole concept of nature-based solution, carbon credit, and also the hotspot biodiversity, as in our Asian region, could be a big one for us, a good opportunity to drive forward and help us all to reach this carbon neutrality that our government kind of already announced and put the flag out there. So, internationally, as mentioned, when it comes to carbon credit, there should have be something that be able to trace. And there is this Verra, which is a company kind of, methodology kind of, and then they are the group that develop the project all over the world. In the region, Southeast Asian, we have something like 20 some odd projects being developed under the Verra. Looking back in Thailand, what we are having TVER, which is kind of national scale. And then in Thailand, we also developed this premium TVER here, which can be used internationally as well. How this is going to be adopted? Of course, it has to come as a science, technology, innovation. It has to be research-based. And then every value should be able to trace back. So for example, why research has become very important? If we are doing research and having this kind of carbon storage in our region, we're going to see some example like we have a better increasing number of the carbon storage. If we don't do any kind of research, but we use CDM value, just this number, only 0.5, a small of carbon being used at a standardized. If we use the IPCC number, it's going to be just 1.62. But if we are doing the research in the region, right, this one of the professors from Japan come and work in Thailand, and it used the region, and the number is higher. This is the work from Indonesia. Again, the number is higher. So what it is say is emphasize how important the research is for our own region. And we are able to have our own standard of the number to use it, calculate for the climate mitigation, for the carbon credit later on. So just underline the importance of the value of the research. And if we have a good enough research, maybe we can come up with our Asian methodology, similarly as Verra, similarly as gold standard. And we might build from the TGO with the TVER premium. Or in the region, if we have the dialogue, and how we going to get together and develop the methodology as our own Asian network, that could be one of the ways that we move forward in terms of climate mitigation in the region. Across the road here, you see that if we want to go to the research, what we have to do, simply literature review. What is the gap in the region? What is the value is already out there? How much we know about the carbon basic in the region, right? Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, do we behave differently? So we can come up of the standard value in the Asian ourselves. Each country should have this kind of modeling, so we be able to kind of predict how much the carbon can be stored, can be really mitigate later on. So this kind of research that we kind of map out what is already out there and what we have to do further to be able to kind of develop the methodology, the value, and later on could come as a financial mechanism, just only our own region. So just to really show out what we already know, how much research that we should be doing further in terms of the networking as well. Move further, PMUB is really see that to be able to help with this flagship of carbon neutrality, we have to build up the talent. So what is those talent? So we kind of having group of people that be able to develop the project developer. So we call it SPD. We have to develop consultant, and then we also have to develop the validator and verifier. Those have to have a good understanding about carbon accreditation, carbon accounting. And then we have like, if we are able to build this kind of people, and they can help develop the project, how far away that we can help the country reaching this carbon neutrality. So PMUB funded us, and then we are able to really come up with this kind of platform. What they have to know to be able to be the one that help develop the project, to be the one that help with consultant, to be the one that help with validate and verifier. So this kind of group of people, up there is brain power, the one that doing the research, because we all know now how much research is important for us to be able to really go along the way with NBS and this carbon credit. So we already have this kind of platform. It has been running already for 6 months, and we put it out there as a climate change academy. We have the booths out there. So I'm not going to go into the detail, but just to point out some of the things, right? We have to work with TGO, the regulator, that they know that this is important to be able to validate or verify. The next thing is we want to really build people that have a good understanding on the nature-based solution concept. So we work with IUCN. We work with the economic people because we know that finance is the driven force of this kind of carbon credit. And then the basic GHG as a scientist. And then we have other costs that for anyone that interested can be really registered. And then the costs are variable. And it can be kept in the credit bank as well. So you can be able to keep it as a certified. And then later on, if you really into this, you can put it all together. And then you can claim as a master degree, PhD. That also open. This is something that I really like to highlight. The course, it can be online, on-site. But the good thing about this is we have demonstration site because we think that hand-on is very important. So this is being designed throughout Thailand. We put the green carbon, the terrestrial one, out there in Nakhon Ratchasima. I myself working on the blue carbon. I'm down south here at Libong, Trang, and then also the teal carbon at Bungkan. So if anyone is interested, this is a chance that they can really have hand-on experience. And whatever that they want to be expertise in, either in green, in teal, in blue, we have the platform to really build up the talent out there. So this is just one of the examples. The student journey, they only work with us just only 5 days. But as mentioned, we have to have hand-on experience, intensive course, just 5 days certificate. They already got the job. This upskill, she is the one that doing the PD, project development. These are 2 professors becoming the VVB, the one that help validate and verify. So this kind of just only quick, well-designed course, we are able to build the young generation of the green that help with the climate mitigation, right? So just quickly, for example, how much people we have to be able to really help with the number of the project to mitigate 120 megaton carbon equivalent as mentioned. So we have kind of this kind of number. Without funding from PMUB, it's going to move very slowly, only 9%. But just only 1 year, we are able to help accelerate the rate of people that can help with this counting. Along the way, as mentioned, we work with the private sector as well. So it's as a role of the consultant to really help them to develop the project. Also to work with the government sector, with the city, because NBS can be adopted not just only in the private sector, but anyone that have the green space can actually develop the project, and we can help with that. Some of the example here is the research at the brain power. If you really want to do it in the research, we also have the platform that can work together as in the region and see how much we know about this carbon. So at the end, I'm going to finish with this slide. So what we are having is we are developing the talent. Either you are interested to do as a project developer, as a consultant, as a validate and verify body, or as a researcher, as a brain power. So you can identify yourself there. We have the CCA Academy, as shown in the platform, that we have all the courses aligned. So we have that, and then the demonstration site. All people that being trained throughout this platform, as mentioned, we already, only 6 months, we already have a success story that go out there and develop the project, being the consultant and even validate and verifier. So I'm going to finish with this, and if you are interested in our platform, the booth is out there, and then you can also scan at this QR code. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anchana, for sharing with us how to develop green talent, focusing on nature-based solution talent to be carbon verifier and researcher. And then I think based on your project, we can see that how it can be linked not just to the nature industry, but also how the university can help access different industry, and then even agriculture, forestry, like so many more to go, and how it can expand looking forward for nature-based solution to combat climate changes. Thank you. Okay, our next presenter. Okay, like so many more things. I would like to invite Datin Anita to give your presentation. Okay.
All right, thank you, Dr. Warajit. I think I have 10 minutes before we
No,
break.
it's okay, 15, it's fine. Okay,
Okay.
boss is right there.
All right.
Maybe we'll ask for more time. Okay.
All right. So I'm from an agency under the Ministry of Science and Technology in Malaysia. The organization is called Malaysian Bioeconomy Development Corporation. So as an agency, we deal directly with industry players. We listen to industry players, what are their needs, especially those who are in the bio-based and the biotech sector. So my presentation today will be focusing more of what are the real issues that we face in Malaysia with regards to the green talent availability and how we're trying to address it one by one, step by step. Okay, so in Malaysia, there are a few agencies that actually are looking at focusing on the green talent development, and the lead agency currently is the Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corporation, MGTC. We have also a colleague from the organization that is going to talk about the technicalities or the skill development that they're doing. But for me, I will be covering on the strategy side of it. As you can see here, for Malaysia, we are looking at two major documents or the strategies, which is the Green Technology Master Plan Malaysia and also the National Energy Transition Roadmap. So for these two documents, there are targets already laid out. What are the green jobs? We have actually identified what is a requirement by the industries and what are the gaps. And we are looking at by 2030, another 230,000 green jobs that is required by the industry to support the two plans that we have here. And on top of this, we also have just launched the National Biomass Action Plan last year, late last year. So this is another requirement that is will be needing a lot of this green talent. So how do we do this? So our MGTC has actually created the Green Job Portal. This is directly to address the current need of the industry, of which we saw that there are a lot of new companies, SMEs, that requires the talent, but then again, in Malaysia, there are shortages in terms of skilled workers because most of them have moved into the digital economy. Maybe most of you know that Malaysia, everyone in Malaysia owns a handphone, a mobile phone. And because of that, it is already a lifestyle in Malaysia. Everyone is on TikTok, selling things on TikTok, on YouTube. And all that is actually creating the economy for these new generations. So this is a real issue in Malaysia. So even those who are already a student graduating from science or STEM, they have actually moved into that economy rather than staying in a job that is requiring that technical skill. So that's why we are going back to the basics. We are trying to match the requirement of the industry with the talent that is available. Immediately after they graduate, at least they know there are available jobs that is requiring their talent, their green skills. So besides that, we will also be creating or developing a Malaysian Green Job Guidelines because there is still gray areas in terms of what are green jobs. There must be a clear definition what are the green jobs so that we know how to target this right skill is required for that industry. So we will be launching this next month. Then only we'll know what it is. It's in terms of specific areas that will be targeted. So, so in terms of the green job, there is a portal. The documents on the guidelines will be in March. So this is, all right, oops. Okay, so this is, hold on, sorry. There should be a video. Okay, all right. So this is how it looks like. We do it online since everyone is on handphone. So we also created a portal that everyone can actually just see what are the availability of vacancies in the companies that have actually registered. So companies register on the portal, and then talents also go and they can actually see what are the offerings, even the job or the pay scale. So they can actually just immediately subscribe and also apply for the job. So this is immediately immediate addressing the needs. So for Malaysian Bioeconomy Corporation, as we are an agency that's focusing on bio-based and also biotechnology industry, so we are governed, there are three sectors that we cover: the agriculture, biotech, healthcare, and also the industrial biotech and circular economy. So these three areas that is covered under the National Biotech Policy. What we have done is that we do an array of programs that's covering right from the primary and secondary school students. So we have the Bioscienceation. This is a program that is interactive. We have one-day session going to schools, getting the students to experience themselves what are the science projects that they can actually do on site with the experts. So this is just to get them on site. I guess most of the countries also have started doing this to get back the attention from the students wanting to learn STEM. Just like in the Philippines, we are also having a shortage or a declining response for students in STEM. As I said, they are all moving into the digital economy. STEM is like left behind because to them it's just too hard. anything on the phone is just one click away. You don't have to wait for a lab result for months until you get something, a result out of it, right? So they're all moving into something that is, to them, easier. Right, so we are trying all these activities. Maybe it looks like very micro, but then again, we are trying to inculcate that interest from start. So we do also coaching programs at the graduate level. For biotechnology specialized, we have the bioteckies on certification courses. That is, maybe they have a certain industry that they want to target to, so we help them to be certified in those areas. And the current activity that we do is the BEST program. This is a job placement program. Okay, so it is a place, train, and hire. So 6 months program, the outcome is that at the end of it, there will be a permanent employee for the company, and also if they don't want to work with any company, they would have some skills to go into bioentrepreneurship. Because in Malaysia, 90% of our industry is actually SMEs. So if they don't want to work, they want to become an entrepreneur, they also have some skills already from the program that we have. So these are some of the companies. These are mostly, just maybe one or two. There are big companies that's joining the program, but most of them actually small companies, SMEs, right? So they embark in the program, and we have actually placed students who are in the life sciences graduates, so they have actually employed by these companies. And how do we do it? So we have a soft skill module, a bioentrepreneurship module, industry awareness module where they get placed in the companies, technical training module, they will go to some laboratories, they will have hands-on experience in, to do projects. Maybe they don't have access using that certain equipment at the university, but they can actually have experience in the companies that they get trained to. And they also have the job, on-the-job training. So as you can see here, this is an example that is a program that is ongoing now. So first day, introduction to the what is bioeconomy cooperation. Then we go into unleashing their potential. Then even effective communication is actually being harnessed. Leadership and building, team building, management of organization, leadership, bioentrepreneurship, design thinking, digital, even digital marketing and content creation. So some of them undergoes that real TikTok, how to do a content properly. And they also taught on how to pitch their ideas properly. So all this, how we are looking at it is that we want the graduates to have a well-rounded skill when they go into businesses. As I mentioned earlier, our companies are mostly SMEs, so whoever joins an SME must have a well-rounded skills in order to help with the enterprise or the firm, right? So we are trying to equip them with at least understanding the whole mechanism of a company rather than, just looking at the skills, the technical skills that they have. All right. On the technical and hands-on trainings, especially on the agriculture and bio-based technology, we get them into courses as listed on the screen there. we actually are connected with all the labs in Malaysia, so they actually get a direct experience based on the request or which company that they are going to. If they are going to an agriculture company, they will maybe go for My Organic certification and MyGAP, you know, or hydroponics. So we get them to into specific trainings. So far, maybe this is something that we can be proud of. 90% has actually secured jobs from this program. So meaning that we have done this for almost 2 years now. As a pilot, I think it's already a successful program. So we wish to actually continue this. And the companies are actually very happy with the outcome, because the 1 month training that we do, undergoing all that I listed earlier, has actually get them a good employee to help the companies. So on national level, as on the Ministry of Science, there are certain initiatives that the ministry is doing now. Some of the issues and challenges that was actually identified was that there was job and skill mismatch. I think this is happening everywhere. There are future jobs that is disrupting the economy. So that is another issue and challenge. And there are fewer graduates and skilled technical workers. I mean, this is a real issue. You might have advanced technologies created from your labs, but then again, how to commercialize it if you don't have the right skills to actually do the commercial activity in the companies. So, and if you talk about spin-offs or startups, normally it is created by professors or maybe doctors who are very skilled and innovative, but then again, some of them, from our experience, some of them tends to just survive for a few years because they don't have this understanding of running a business. How do you market your innovation? How to do a right packaging or the right pitch to sell your ideas? So this is actually we noticed it was lacking. From companies that we have supported maybe in last 20 years, we are now left maybe about 1/3 only. We have about 350 companies in the biotech sector that we give incentives, tax exemption. But now we are only left about 100 over. Because over the years, they just cannot sustain. Because most of them actually have innovations, have great products, but fail to market them. So that's why we thought that we must create talents that is more well-rounded. Yeah. So another issue that was identified is that there are low market access and less competitive firms because the companies not willing to adapt new and emerging technologies because they're just comfortable with probably just being a manufacturer rather than making a new product, you know, maybe licensing rather than innovative own products. So therefore, that's the mismatch because we are producing maybe great minds with great talents, but they don't have anywhere to work at. So as an intervention, the ministry is looking at focusing on deep tech and future skills and opening up training and job placement for youth and graduates for B40s and also the M40s. So more micro level, but more meaningful to us in Malaysia. So for last year, the focus areas are what are the models for natural disaster interventions that is affecting food supply and also health. So we're looking at smart system connecting urban and rural communities, and social innovation based on grassroots and local technology. So we're looking inwards. We're looking at, we don't have to actually import new technologies. There are a lot of innovations already in Malaysia which can be commercialized. There is also My Hackathon, the My Startup program. We are also encouraging the government to use goods and services that is resulting from local R&D. So government procurement, that is something that needs improvement actually. As I mentioned earlier, upskilling program for deep tech and future skills, and of course continuous efforts in developing on application of advanced knowledge. So these are ongoing activities from last year. We are still continuing some of it now. So this, I hope my sharing here is more realistic to some of the businesses. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, there are a lot of us, there are quite a few technologies as mentioned by Dr. Enrico and so Tan Chana, which is being developed already. We have it in Malaysia, but you cannot see it commercialized because of this lack of support or green talent availability. So with that, I end my presentation. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dustin, Asnida, for sharing us. We kind of see the three perspective, seeing the broad picture of the research-related and talent development program, and then looking at the nature-based, seeing how the future of carbon credit, in order for sustainable economy, what kind of financial model that need to drive, and talent development linking to the industry as we see here. And I'm very much impressed of the BEST program, where you can get 95% training for 1 month, and then 5 months for placement, and then can get a job. Because all the, for Thailand as well, a lot of what PMUB was trying to develop is, usually we ask after capacity building, where do they go? Where do they place? So if you have so many SMEs and small businesses that are willing to take new talent and develop the talent with the academic sector or the research sector, I think that's very good. Also, may I ask, are there any questions on the floor that is needed? Okay. Okay, there's 2 questions, one from Thailand, another one from Laos. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello, my name is Sumulman from RMUTT Thailand. And quite amazing about Malaysia government policy. And we would like to know the situation about the biotechnology industry in Indonesia. Is it a lot, or how many percent, if you can answer me? And we're very happy about the future skill training. It's very nice. How about the biotechnology industry in Malaysia situation?
Well, we started the policy of national biotech policy in 2005. So we are now like almost 20 years into the policy implementation of the policy. So throughout the years, we have actually given out, because with the policy, in helping the industries, we also give incentives to the businesses. The incentives is even up to 100% tax exemption for 10 years for companies that is setting up a biotech business in Malaysia, be it 100% foreign-owned or local-owned. So that's how much we encourage the implementation of the technology in the country. So from 2005 until now, we have given out maybe 350 of the status that with the incentives. But as I mentioned earlier, we are only left with 100 over companies now. We understand that the gestation period is long. You have to invest a lot in R&D in the first few years of the business. But some of them were not able to sustain. And so we are left only with 1/3 of what we used to do. But however, year on year now, we are still able to find new companies investing in biotechnology. So maybe about 10 to 15 companies yearly are given these incentives. The criteria is very strict. The company must employ a biotech process. So, and 90% of the revenue must come from that process. So you can't be doing trading just to increase your revenue. So you must be producing the product using a biotech process. So to us, it is growing slowly, but I think surely there's still potential. We still having some foreign investments, big investments from Korea, from India, that is in the billions ringgit investments. So I think it is still a potential area. But I think because of the funding unavailability issues, some of the businesses just cannot sustain. Because as you know, in most, in Malaysia, the banks especially, or the funding institutions, don't actually understand what is biotech, or what are even a bioenergy plant. They feel they are unsure what are the prospects of these businesses, so they were unwilling to actually give out loans. So we still have that problem actually to move faster.
I just feel the same way regarding renewable energy in the beginning. The banks don't understand if they can give loans to like solar farms, like thing. So there are a program to capacity building for banks as well, so they would understand. So just a little bit of sharing. Okay, one more please. Question.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanong Sak from the National University of Laos. I would like to ask Dr. Anjana questions regarding carbon credit. Where the project get the money from to pay for this system? Because I think what's happening nowadays, right? Into the Amazon, into the Borneo, right? The fires over there, it's blankets, Singapore, Malaysia, this kind of thing, right? The EU pay for those countries. But I'm not sure this kind of system, because we can learn from one another. Thank you.
You can have the private sector that interested to buy the carbon credit, basically. Because what they have to do actually at the moment, to be able to export certain things, you have to declare for your carbon footprint, right? So certain company, to be able to export, they have to declare. And once they have this higher carbon footprint, they're going to pay to buy the carbon credit from the project development, right? So first step is, if we have a good enough project development, have a good understanding of people that are able to develop the project, they can go and develop the project, giving a consultant. In Thailand, for example, with the blue carbon, certain lands belong to the government sector, especially the coastline. So our government give out certain lands for certain company to come and develop the project. And then with that kind of understanding the concept, how much carbon credit they have is going to be divided to the government sector themselves. And then the private sector that put the money in for the project development can keep that carbon credit, and then they use it to neutralize their product. That's some of the money coming in. And if we want to go down further into the community, we can ask the community along the coastline or in the forest to look after the forest. With that, they're going to gain some money as well for the private sector that put the money in to get the carbon credit and use it to have their company being carbon neutral.
Okay. Are there more questions? Okay, one more. Oh, okay. I like their questions. So you don't need
Good
coffee,
afternoon.
right? Okay, please
Randy,
introduce yourself.
Randy
too.
Sasota from the Philippines, particularly DOST, or Department of Science and Technology Science Education Institute. So my question is addressed to Ms. Jatin. We're interested in the model, the BEST program. So we would like to know, how did you engage the host companies? Because you also mentioned a while ago that it's very difficult to engage with the industry because industries do not usually invest in, one of your slides is industries do not invest much on the talent mobility. Because the Science Education Institute provides scholarship programs, and I was talking with Dr. Alvin that we need to provide more engaging, more meaningful on-the-job training to our scholars. So your model is actually very good.
Okay, for us, firstly, we do screening of the companies, right? We identify the companies. There are two programs to identify these companies. One is called the Bio-Based Accelerator Program. So we invite bio-based companies that is using bio-based materials to make some of the products, right? So, and we screen through what are the activities that they want. Are they motivated enough into innovating or improving the technologies that they are using presently? So if they have that vision going forward to actually improve their businesses with technology, then we will invite them over to be with us in the program. So that's where we find good companies that has actually the motivation, and they really are serious into employing good talents. So that's one. And then of course the BioNexus companies, we have ongoing nurturing for these. BioNexus status companies are the more advanced in terms of technology because they are really employing the biotech processes. So they have invested in R&D, they have their own labs, they do their own R&D in-house. So we keep nurturing them so that they keep growing. So with that, actually they start employing more of the talents. So this is the strategies that we do. So it's not just random. So we do all this, targeted and screening for the companies. Yeah.
So do you have incentive to the company as well? Does the company have to give payment during the job placement, or do you give incentive to the company?
Okay, so for the 6 months, we actually give salary incentives, which is we pay around maybe 70% of the salary for 6 months for this talent to be to work at their place. So for 6 months, it is 70% is by the government. So the company just only top up another 30, right? So then after 6 months, they would be paying in full. If they're, of course, we hope that by the end of it, they're very happy with the employee, and both, even the employee is actually very happy working with the company. So they have a mutual understanding, and the companies will continue to pay the salary. Yeah. So that's how it is.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. How about we have one more question?
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Razif. I'm from Malaysia. It's not a question really, it's more of a personal comment because this is my first time attending this kind of event, forum. I'm just going back to what the theme is all about. Green talent development to enhance ASEAN economic co-creation and sustainable society through STI-based solution. So for the past two panels, we have seen great things what each country are doing, which is fine. Green talent development, check. Sustainable society through STI-based solution, check. But what the big question is about economic co-creation. I think that's the main challenge for all of us. because my expectation, I was looking for things like moonshots. What is the next big thing is going to happen in Asia? What is the ASEAN product that we're going to come up together? I think that's the big question that we need to ask each other. Or not, we'll just be working in silo and then, you know, we're not going to move to the next phase of what we're supposed to do. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the next panel will shed some light on the industry perspective, on what is the industry, the side of the moving toward, and then for the next 2 days, we're also going to be discussing of how we're going to co-create together, what is our goal in the next portion, like that, okay? That would be help. So I'd like to thank all the panelists, all the speakers, thank you so much for all your insight. And thank you to all the questions and comments. Okay, and now thank you again, and back to the MC.
Thank you very much. So thanks for the presentation. And before we move to the last session, we will have 20 minutes coffee break, and please come back at 2:45 p.m. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to the last session of today, the ATM Connect. Let us hear the exchange from industrial sector and research and academic institutes on industrial perspective on opportunity and mechanism to mobilize green talent toward carbon neutrality. Please welcome Mr. Surod Sangsanit, Executive Vice President of SIG Motor CP, Vice President for Industry and Business Development of Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand, Mr. Atit Wechakit, Vice Chairman of Renewable Energy Industry Club, the Federation of Thai Industry. Next, Associate Professor Sumonman Niam Lang, Vice President, Rajamangala University of Technology, Thanyaburi, the RMUT's Talent Resource Management Platform for reforming the National Manpower Production System, Thailand. Technologies, Roslina Mohammed, Technical Specialist, Green Skills, Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corp, Malaysia. Ms. Sakina Ramania, Talent Management Specialist, National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, Republic of Indonesia. And we have Dr. Nuwong Cholakup, Research Group Director, Low Carbon Energy Research Group, National Energy Technology Center, NSTDA, as our moderator. And now I would like to give the floor to Dr. Nuwong, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Still not too sleepy, I hope. You just have your coffee. So my job is to moderate this 1.5 hour session, but I heard that we are about half an hour behind. So let's make a deal. You know, today is a special day, right? Outside here, you may heard some rumor that there might be some people walking on the street, but it's okay. You stay here, it's fine. But for those people who want to go back home, you may run into traffic. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the tweet or X yet how bad is the traffic is. So let's ask for our 5 excellent speaker. Maybe you can cut it a bit short to 10 to 15 minutes, so that we can have maybe one round of question, and and then of course we can talk afterward, and then we can go home happily ever after. Is it okay? Okay. All right. So first, I think from my agenda, so basically this Green Thai Mobility, we want to look at the industrial engagement and also the role of research institute and university who produce all those green talent for the industry. So we have a good mix from the research institute, university, and also the industrial perspective. So first, with my dear EVAT friends, this morning if you are around here, I have many questions that I not answer, so I'm going to put Mr. Surod to answer this one on behalf of the EVAT Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand. So I'm sorry to use him too much despite his injury for the feet, but thanks for coming. Please go ahead. Thank you.
So as the EVAT Vice President of Industrial, actually since the net zero is coming more and more important to the world. So the industry has to also to catch up, especially in the education part, because we are, I think, rack of people who are special. As you know, now EV is in Thailand is over 100,000 population already running around, and there will be people who the car needs to be serviced. So people need to learn to how to service the high technology car like this, and also the industry as well. Since we have to produce according to the Thai national EV policy, the 3.0, and now we have started the 3.5. We have to pay back whatever we import in the first 2 years and produce back. In order to produce the BEV in Thailand, it's also very challenging. First, the requirement for the government, what needs to be done, what will be the minimum process, what can we import, what has to be localized. That's also part of it. And also, in order to be able to produce, we need also the manpower to understand, to be able to get the car complete, and also including and not to assemble is one part. To diagnostic, as you know, mass production, there will be some not perfectly function, so we have to be able to diagnostic along the way. So we surely need to upskill our people. I'm not talking about in Thailand, also in ASEAN as well. Okay. If you can diagnostic, you have to be expert up to a certain level. Without any educational or any upskill in advance, it's nearly impossible to do so. Okay. And actually, the government would like to have the local produced battery. This is also very challenging because once we finish the gluing, then we cannot replace the cell anymore. So we have to ensure that everything is done perfectly before we sell it. Okay. So this is very important to upskill. Therefore, we need the Thai government actually in the research and people to support in this. Then many things that we cannot really adapt from Europe or America or from China as well. Many things that we have to do locally. So that will be the first part.
Yeah, so it's rather quick. So I think also this morning there was some question about the support and also the charging station. So maybe you can hear later from you and you can go back to. So I think let's first give a hand of applause to Mr. Surod. So I think next, so we are moving from EV, to a rather renewable energy technology in general. So we have the honor from Mr. Atit, the Vice Chairman of the Renewable Energy Industry Club, to also give other perspective on other renewable energy technology and what are you expecting from the industrial perspective.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry that may not have enough time to prepare a proper slide. So it's mixed in English and Thai. So, okay, I introduce myself. I'm Atit Pachkit from Federation of Thai Industry. Right now, I'm responsible for the we call regulation guillotine for set up by the government. We have too many regulation that are not friendly enough for renewable energy in Thailand. So fortunately, the Prime Minister, the government decided that we have an urgent matters, urgent action need to be done to resolve the several unfriendly regulation to help country to be green enough, and also work for the subcommittee of the House of Representatives on the green energy also. So and other many things related to renewable energy and energy efficiency. Okay, so I separate my presentation into three sections. Okay, first we would like to talk about right now we need to stay with truth and trust because I think even in Thailand country and in Southeast Asia country and I think in the other countries also we cannot avoid truth anymore because all over the world, UNFCCC and everyone, we have to help each other to be green and pretty sure that if we cannot have good enough clear and crystal information, we will be left behind, definitely. So the second agenda I will talk about need of change that Thailand need to be done, and also the last one is the unavoided future to be achieved. So if no, if we have not good enough activities to serve country to be green, we will be in big trouble very soon. Okay. So I think in this room we all believe that climate change, global warming is truth. So we have no doubt that we in trouble right now and more, and we all over the, I think many countries in this world not make it good enough to protect the world to be lower temperature as targeted. So anyway, for greenhouse gas, we think that we may start by carbon reduction and also other greenhouse gas, other 6 greenhouse gas need to be resolved as soon as possible. So even though government, our ex-prime minister, current prime minister commit to UNFCCC, to other countries that we need to achieve our target. But country target and industrial target is big difference. We have no time. 5 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years is too long for us to be green. So even country target, we talk about 2050, but for industrial, I think 2030, if we cannot be up to the level of green enough, we will be in big trouble. There will be no order to our factories. No one will come to visit Thailand as a tourist because they will consider that whether this hotel, this resort have good enough carbon footprint or not. Even though how beautiful we are, how good taste food we have, if we still not green, they will not come. So we have very short period to make it happen. And both carbon neutrality and net zero greenhouse gas targeted by the country, it doesn't matter for our industrial business. We have to survive and we have to make it fast. And you may know that Thailand is number 9 ranking by a very important organization that we are number 9 that gonna have big trouble compared to other countries around the world. So Thai people have to aware this, and we have to do carbon reduction not for commitment. We have to do by ourselves. So this is strictly say that we cannot avoid. But in reality, we still lag behind our target too much. From some statistical data, we still have renewable energy proportion for our electricity less than 10%. This information displayed by very important organization, and we were ranked as critically insufficient groups that lag behind the target on carbon neutrality. So, and for emission from I think 2020 to 2023, we emission a little bit more from 1 kilowatt hour electricity. So we can say that to achieve decarbonization as regulated by many countries, scope 1, we run very fast right now for industrial point of view, but we still need a huge support from government on scope 2, and scope 3 is the big problems is very big problem for us because we have to work with our supply chain, and we can say that it's a nightmare for industrial to support, to help, to push our supply chain to make it happen. So what we try really hard to ask for the government is we waiting to see national energy plan, which will come very soon, and we hope that we can see the plan that can support us to achieve our target, because we still need big support scope 2 from the government. So we have a good enough infrastructure on the carbon neutrality activities, organization like TGO, like NEPO or something like that. But this is the draft, lovely draft national energy plan from the government side. We still worry that the proportion of renewable energy compared to fossil to produce electricity in Thailand may be not good enough to help industrial to survive. So we still negotiate with the government more and more, and this is the current situation that from the government point of view, 10% renewable is current status. Okay, and we may know that energy sector is the largest trouble for green achievement. So we concentrate on energy, and we strongly believe that from the study we need renewable energy up to 60% within next 6 months, next 6 years, which need to we hope, but it's maybe a little bit difficult. เวลาผมหมดแล้วยังโอเคครับโอเค several good things in Thailand. We have very strong Bank of Thailand try to support on taxonomy, and we will get a strong support from many commercial banks in Thailand under taxonomy program, which green, red, amber, green activities will be support as the financial, and also BOI. I think that we all talk about climate change support investment and also green investment. So the most important area is energy efficiency and renewable energy. To achieve at 2050 or within next 10 years or whatever, if we cannot make it happen, if we cannot implement energy efficiency and renewable energy fast enough, is very danger for our future. And many people think that carbon decarbonization is the cost only. You have to pay to make it happen. But we like to confirm that there's a lot of low-hanging fruit activities that you can implement energy efficiency and renewable energy with the good return on investment. So we have to start select the low-hanging fruit, good return on investment on energy efficiency and renewable energy at the beginning stage. Let's say within next 3 years, next 5 years, we have many things that we can invest and we can get return on investment better than 10%. And the commercial bank will support. So we try to announce, Federation of Thai Industry, we try to announce, to promote, to alert, to educate SME on many factories that industrial that do not think that decarbonization is your cost. Please try to have good enough information, good enough evaluation that there's a lot of activities that you can have a good investment with a good return on investment, and we can work together and left no one behind. So I think I'm start here.
Thank you very much for Mr. Atit for kindly sharing. I think important point from the point from the federal tire industry. I think I particularly like a few idea regarding taxonomy that I think Bank of Thailand has done in classifying what are the potential green or clean technology for investment, and that reflecting to a lower interest rate by the commercial bank. I think that one we are proposing and trying to push forward, because I think as you may see from the federal tire industry study that we need about 85% renewable electricity by the year 2050, and right now we only have only 2 digits, the very small 2 digits. So we can get it to the 85%. That's going to be a lot of hurdle. And also I think a last point that he mentioned, that I think decarbonization is not equal to cost. I think this is the first time I learned from our ministry workshop last year, where an ASEAN Secretariat, I think she presents nicely about the ASEAN strategy for carbon neutrality, and she mentioned that decarbonization is not cost, but it's an opportunity for investment. So thanks for reconfirming. So next, may I move on to, I think, from the Associate Professor Dr. Sumunman to give her view on this green talent mobility and how to matching up with all this industrial need and demand coming up. So please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. And also, do agree with the speaker that already presented before me. We do a lot about matching and also mobilize the people from university side or researcher to be the real sector of industry. And also right now we are going to the green industry also. And I'm the representative of the team that we try to mobilize the researcher go to the real sector. And right now I'll tell the story briefly about that we would like to do. At first, our theory, we start with we believe in we society, not our. That we believe in we society, not our country, not our university. That we try to tell everybody in the global citizens. We are global citizens, so we try to do the system, and then we go to the people that work in government agency, and also the only one that accept our idea is PMUB, that okay, let's try to do the models that you can mobilize, not one university, but a group of universities. So that's why we start with this one, and we call this model is the Ratchamakala University of Technology Talent Resource Management Platform to reform the national manpower production system. So this is one project that we do. We start with the idea. For the first of all, I would like to short introduction about the 9 university that we are the group of university that we separate organization. We have 9 university. We have 36 campus located in 33 province in Thailand, from north to southern of Thailand. And here we go. We can see a lot of campus around the Thailand. That is original idea. If we can start from different university but located in different place, we can do all to every university and also in any place in the world. And we start the question about the industrial and technology transformation and agricultural transformation and tourism transformation. That's why only 3 we go back to the 36 campus that demonstrate in 23 provinces that have the industry estate and also tourism city and also agricultural city. And then we have only very normal question for the team is 5W is the what is new and what is the uniqueness and what is different and what is innovation. And the last one, what is the value impact to the people that we involved. And also every project that we have to do is have to connect with 6P, people, process, product, place, project and problem setting and problem solving. We go to a lot of industry in Thailand in 7 years. And then we found that many industrial sector in S&M know a lot of problem but cannot setting the problem. If we can set the problem, setting the problem, and then we can solve the problem, and we have to prioritize the problem also. And for TRM platform, we do for 2 years, but we have long history around 7 years. We try to do small batch of researcher. Start with the group of the talent people that is the, if we talk about the nanofiber, he is the one. If we talk about the carbon neutrality, he is the one. If we talk about the robotic, he is the one. We collect that one and then we build up, we call TM Academy. And then we set up the new people, new researcher that have the motivation but no connection. So we set up the school and then go together and make it in the real sector. We do in, right now, I think for 2 years, we have 400 enterprise that come to this project. At the first year, we back for 7 years, only one university. But last 2 years, we start for 9 university, plus the researcher from ASEAN, not ASEAN, Asia, the big one, yeah. We invite our friends from many countries come to the project because for the real need of industry of in Thailand, we found that some problem can easily fix by very normal technology that in university, it's very easy, why you don't use that, but easy for the researcher, but for the real sector, it's very, wow, how? But some in technology like robotic, it's like mentioned that EV need a lot of the appropriate technician and researcher that to absorb the technology from the big brother country also whatever or about the standard of Thailand also for safety and for production issue also. We have the researcher that can handle this problem, and also we also need the researcher from other country. We call family or partnership is right now the partnership is the word that many people always calls, but we call the friend, the team of researcher come to the real sector. We believe in we society, and also we believe in share knowledge also. We can do together. Some people do it last 10 years ago, but right now it's a new problem in Thailand also. And then we recruit the big brother for 10 projects. We call big brother because we recruit many researchers in the many countries and also in Thailand also, and include the student to the project and go to the real sector. And we found that right now we distribute the project into 47 industry, 400 industry in 47 province in Thailand. And then we found that after we do it, we upselling around the percentage of upselling around 20% of this whole project. It means they can sell the product 100 baht, and after do the project, they can sell 200 baht. This group of enterprise around 20%, and also decrease the investment. Reduce the production cost around 100% down is the 30%. And also we build up new project. We call premium cost. We set up the vocational education with RMUT and also enterprise. And also in RMUT, we have the Society for ASEAN, we call RAFTE. RAFTE, we have the many universities in ASEAN that we talk about how to training the student and work in industry. And that we said that, and now right now we have the 600 students that work in the company. And also not only in the Thai company, also in international company also. And here we start the mechanism that we try to push the student manpower to industry and also mix and match, not only in Thai, but it's global. And now, especially in Asian, that we would like to mix up. And then we start with grooming. Not in university, the researcher try to do the best things, but for industry, you do the very quick things, not the best thing, but the proper time and technology is very important. Then now we grooming, not only university side, not researcher side, we grooming for the understanding of industry side also. Okay, the nature of the researcher here is a nature. When some industry part call the professor in university, I have a lot of work to do, I have no time, whatever. But in industry, it is a priority. You have to do this one first. So we have to grooming both sides, and also we also utilize the people that grooming from this project. And then right now we stock of around 10% of the researcher in Nai University that ready and have experience to do work in industry in many kind of utilization, such as the research, such as the problem solving, such as the build up new skill, re-skill, and also for the setting up course for the special skill that industry need. So for the plan, we try to expand this idea, not only in Thai and not only our partnership that come the same project. We would like to expand to the ASEAN company, and then we try to set up, and the real model is a group of researchers come to enterprise and sharing the idea and funding by enterprise sector, and also we can do the benefits, because if we do the high efficiency work, so we can consume energy and time a lot, so we will have the good environment of the world. That is, I think my time is over. Maybe come again, but we would like to share. We can share everything, share knowledge. I think ASEAN is the best area that for the people and also the environment. So thank you for the first round. Thank you very much.
Professor Somon Pansky, for applause again. I think I really like start with the We project. I think this really show engagement on what they can pull in terms of talent mobility, and also there's a lot of numbers in there. I think that's to really show the commitment from 9 branches of the Rajamangala University, and also to show that actually reflected into the industrial benefit, so that not only many times, right, as he mentioned, that some problem is just right around your nose. You see it every day, but you just overlook it. But of course, if you look at the different perspective lens, and then that might be the clear answer that they can share among the industry, and also that lead to the improvement of the task force. So next, let me move to Madam Rosina. So she's gonna do the magic on how we can improve and also promote the green talent from Malaysia. So please, the floor is yours.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roslina. I'm a technical specialist for the industry lead body for the green skills, and I'm from Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corporation, with which Datin Azinita has mentioned the organization much earlier in her slides. But in my presentation today, I'm going to focus on one skill which is high demand, the example of a high demand, low supply, and also low certified skilled worker, which is EVCS, EV charging station installation and maintenance. Yeah. Okay, before I would like to introduce MGTC, or Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corporation, is an agency under Ministry of Natural Resources natural resources and also environmental sustainability, which is NRES. And we are actually one of the 27 industrial lead body in Malaysia, which is represent for the industries. Appointed by the Department of Skills Standards under Ministry of Human Resources in 2013. So which means we already ILB almost 11 years. And part of our role is basically to promote Malaysian skills certification to the sustainability green technology industry, meaning that we are to get hasten overall acceptance and also understanding of the industry towards the TVET related to the skills training. And also we assist government of Malaysia increasing the numbers of the skilled personnel in the sustainability green technology industry, which to make sure that in the market there is adequate skill manpower. So at this moment, actually we have directly, indirectly developed about 29 national occupational skill standards and also national competency standards. So for the North is where the competency of worker, yeah, for the national competency standards basically is the competency for that particular field. Yeah, so basically we have developed in energy audit, solar photovoltaic, solar PV, thermal energy audit, biomass, anaerobic digester biogas, landfill gas, electric bus maintenance, low carbon city compliance, EV charging station installation, and also this year we managed to help the government develop sustainable reporting, the skill, sustainable reporting, carbon accounting, and also sustainable compliance. So because I think that is very crucial that all the companies need to report on the ESG and so on. So we are actually developing all those. And that's a picture that we have actually some sort of like giving the certificate to all the, actually those in the picture, they are actually engineers, they're actually doctors, and also they are already the professional, but they're willing to go over to get the skill certification. Yeah, I mean, from the education backgrounds, now in Malaysia, everybody looking for the hands-on background as well. So this is part of our activities. Okay, that was introduction of the agencies that I'm working with. But now why I said that EV charging station installation and maintenance is a high demand, low supply and low certified skilled worker, because at this moment in Malaysia we have about 1,246 charging stations. So, but the number of skilled workers certified is only 47. Certified means they have the cert, certified by the government of Malaysia. But actually there are hundreds of them out there. They know how to do the wiring. Of course, for the EV charging station, you have to, in Energy Commission said, there are where competence, they have to make sure to have the at least PW3 to be able to do. So actually there are numbers of the skilled workers, they already install so many charging stations, but they are not certified. So our role is we are going to look for those hundreds of, we are going to certify them to make sure that they are certified and to assess their capacity, to know how, if they are properly install those charging stations, to make sure that in the future there is no problem, because it's a high risk job. Yeah. So in Malaysia we have this low carbon mobility blueprint, which is 2021 until 2030, where we aim to have 10,000 electric vehicles. But now 2025, we only have 1,246. So we are not really achieving what we are aiming. So I think answering the question to Malaysian delegation just now when he talked about the economic of skills. So actually the talent is very much, you need to have the enough talent to contribute to the economy. Yeah, if you're going to install 10,000, you have to have enough people to be able to do the installation. Yeah. Okay, so this is what they say, 47 skill departments. So I'm one of them actually. So this is my, yeah. But in November last year, it was actually in the Parliament of Malaysia, it was, they said only one person certified because it was the wrong information given. But actually in Malaysia, we have 47 certified. But we have, this year, we're trying to get as much as those people that, hundreds of people, we're going to certify more. Maybe next year, if you all invite me, I'll give you a new numbers. Okay, and then, okay, for the electric vehicles, there are a few components, of course, you know, electric vehicles, EV component, and also there is an end of life or second life, and also EV infrastructure. That is the circular economy part. And then what I'm going to talk about EV installation is basically on the EV infrastructure, but on the circular economy part, which you're saying that you're the empty part. Actually, we are in Malaysia. We are going to develop the standards for EV battery recycling and also EV scooter battery swapping. So we are going to develop that standards and also EV battery recycling and at the same time EV recycling as well. Yeah, so that's our in the pipeline of developing that standards. So here are basically what is it, the competency, what actually skills, and also Energy Commission has set up the electric vehicle charging station EVCS, and also what is the competent person. So we have to follow. We have to make sure that we are following the Energy Commission standards as well because they have set on the competent person. Okay, I have a little background on this. These are the guidelines and also skill standards available, but actually the one here, sorry. Okay. The one in the middle is the one that the skill standards that we developed in 2017. In 2017, at that moment, it's only Malaysian Green Technology Corporation that moving the electric vehicle in Malaysia. It's not, you don't even have any CPO. Yeah, charge point operator, you don't have that in Malaysia. But we are starting with, we have 2 Tesla coming into our organization in 2013. We brought in Tesla to our organization. And then we developed this 2017. When we developed this, there is no guidelines, there is no nothing in Malaysia. So we don't have any proper guidelines. So we use everything from the IEA, we use everything from the international standards. And after we built these standards, then only Energy Commission in Malaysia come up with the guide on the electric vehicle charging station on 29 July 2022. But then when we developed these skill standards before the guideline, so there's a lot of lacking part here. Yeah, there's a lot of lacking part here. And then also the one guidelines by the DBKL is basically from the local authorities. They also come up with the guidelines. And then we do have guidelines from the fire department, and also we have guidelines from the Plan Malaysia. These are the guidelines that are available in Malaysia. Okay, and then for the, what are the contents of the EV charging station guideline? Basically here, they are talking about modes of charging, what is a competent person, what is it the facilities needs to have, like a final circuit, protective devices, and also like what is the location requirement, and also this basically set by the Energy Commission. And then for the competency itself, actually that's a tricky part. When we come up with the guideline in Malaysia in 2017, only AC charging, because DC charging was not that popular at that time, only the AC charging. But now, in the market, the demand for DC charging is a lot. So that's why the industry said, you have to come up with the DC charging as well, the competency for DC charging. So we have done some, that day we have done some workshop, bring all the industries, even the Tesla joined us as well, bring all the industries, need to know what is their, what actually the problems. So the problems in Malaysia actually, the request is a lot, but then the problem is a competent person. Competent person to be able to do, because from one point to another point, there are certain competent, some they can only do from another, but they cannot do beyond what they're supposed to do. So, and at the same time, there is a solar PV, also RE generation as well. And there are many things. So we said, okay, we have come up with the conclusion. We're going to revise whatever the standards that we have, which we're going to include, we're going to remain the AC charging, but of course we are changing towards the, whatever the changes, and then we're going to add in on the DC charging. So, here basically, here basically I'm just giving the example how the standards looks like. For example, if you, okay, just go back. I lost my, oh, sorry. Oh, they off my slides. Okay. Okay, for example, like AC charging, there are four types of competencies: site assessment, installation, testing and commissioning, and corrective maintenance. So, in the standards, basically, for the site assessment itself, there are five steps that this competent person has to be able to know what is it, the related knowledge, what are the related skills, and what kind of attitude, yeah, all those. So here, basically on this particular competency, and then for this is the example of the second one, there will be a different related knowledge as well. So, and for the installation, they need to come, I mean, when they do the site assessment, the competent person can be able to do the schematic drawing as well. Yeah, so this is the example of it. Okay, and also this is another example. And for the EV charging station testing and commissioning, this is basically the competency, and also for the corrective maintenance, these are the competency. So this is the reference material. And then these are the discussion that we had that day. So this is basically the one that we did come out, what is it the issue and concern, was it the difference between AC and also DC, and what is it that we recommend. So here the way forward is basically we are going to revise this national competency standards, and also we are going to ensure everything, all the guidelines is inside, and also to include the solar photovoltaic, and also to certify all those skills worker, that hundreds of them. So this is basically our way forward. So Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Sosina. Let's give her a hand of applause. I think go in depth into the charging station, which will be, I think, very critical for the transportation infrastructure. And I'm very glad that I met you, one of the 47 skill, in Malaysia that they actually in this forum. And of course, I think particularly like the national occupational skill standard as well as a national competency standard, which I think can set up the expectation that coming from the industry. And of course, I think we'll come back to the EV expert and renewable energy expert, whether that could help in the industry matching. Thank you very much. So moving to last but not least, but I invite Madam Sakina from BRINT to share the thought from Indonesia, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank everyone for hanging there until I finish my presentation. So I will make it short. I'm Sakina Rahmania. I'm a talent management specialist from the National Research and Innovation Agencies in Indonesia. So I would like to share about our practices on recognizing the opportunities of green talent mobility and its impact on industry. So after all the presentations from our inspiring speakers, and I think we now can agree with GV Octor that mobilizing green talent is indeed crucial in addressing climate change and transitioning to a sustainable future. And so the green talent is human resource individuals with the knowledge, skills, and expertise in sustainable practices and technologies. And there are not a lot of them. And one of them is sitting beside me. And they are equipped to drive the transition to a green economy and help industries to reduce their carbon footprint. And so they are contribute to plays a crucial role in helping industries to adopt sustainable practices and technologies. And their expertise in renewable energy, energy efficiency, waste management, and other areas, and their involvement in industries can reduce costs, improve environmental performance, and enhance the industry reputation. So these are the benefits that could gain by industry by mobilizing green talent. The first one is, of course, cost saving. The green talent could help identify and implement energy efficient practices and also reducing the operational cost. And also the green talent brings fresh perspective and innovative ideas to industries in driving sustainable growth and competitive advantage. And also they are contributes to the development of a sustainable economy. And so there are some challenges that we identified in mobilizing green talent to industries. The first one is the limited availability of low carbon talent with specialized skills and knowledge. I think this one is already elaborated well by Ms. Roslina here, that in Indonesia as well, among 300 registered STI talents, only 10% identified as a low carbon talent. That is a very small number. So we have to come up with a solution, of course. And our practices, BRINT practices, we have the capacity building program and educational initiatives to build a pipeline of a green talent. So we have we scouting from the young potential talent to meet career scientists, and we also have the educational initiatives. We have the research assistant we have more than 200 university students right now involved in the R&D collaboration with BRINT researchers in various fields. And for the early and mid-career scientists, we have this program to build their capacity, the postdoctoral program to mobile the researchers. So we invite the fresh graduates, PhDs, to involve with our R&D related to the low carbon research and development. We also inviting experts, and professors to enhance the capacity of the researchers. We also have the joint research visit that we set groups of researchers to learn about the new technology, about the about new techniques or methodology. We also have the on-the-job training program so that they can be more hands-on. So I believe technology is developing, improving, so we need to balance it with the human resource capabilities. So these are the distribution of participants of our talent. So if you can see, they are the green one is the research organization that work in a field of low carbon related, and then they are dominating in our research organization. And so we also have the training programs. So we provide training programs to industrial green talent, or we can also partnering with industry. So we can work together to provide low carbon related training program to the STI talent. And then we also have this degree by research program, so that students, while conducting the research and development, they can get also their PhD. So they don't need to do coursework, they will get the degree not by coursework, but by research. So they could enhance their capacity in green areas, and they will get their degree at the same time. And also the latest one is we are right now involving industry in this scheme, so that the research, development, and innovation that conducted by the students and the researchers can be adopted by industry and addressing the industrial problem. And another challenges that we also identified is the resistance from industries to adopt low carbon practices due to perceived cost and risk, as we have talked about it. So the solutions from BRIN, so what we had experienced is we providing support for industries to transition to low carbon practices. We have open platform infrastructure in Indonesia. BRIN in these past years are investing in building and a research facilitate and infrastructure. So, but those infrastructures are not really owned by government, but all can access our research infrastructure. So industries are welcome to use our infrastructure to facilitate low carbon transition practices. We also have this partnership and collaboration so that industry can utilize research products from BRIN to support low carbon practices. And also our STI talent can support industry in low carbon practices by providing R&D services. For example, we also have services for life cycle assessment and also sustainable reports for the industries and the company. And yeah, I think that will be all. That these are the conclusion that I think we all already know. Yeah, that the government, our research and development is indeed costly. So that's why the government research institution, whether is it public research institution or private research institution, they should be hand in hand with industry to improve environmental performance, and we can contribute to a greener economy. I think that will be all from me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Give an applause for Madam Sakina. I think really, like, I learned a new word now, the low carbon talent. I think that sounds very nice. And of course, I think, again, to re-echo earlier speaker, that of course, not only perceived cost, right, but we have to know actual benefit of implementing it in the low carbon technology, and particularly like also the open platform infrastructure that BRIN has developed. So I think maybe we can sync up with the ASEAN Thailand Mobility to see how we can share the platform and gain the mutual benefit from that one. Okay, so I think I'm doing pretty good job in trying to wrap up this session. But before going to the second round, I think maybe, is there any question, comment, or want to hear out from the floor or from anyone in particular? No? Or maybe we can start maybe with, I think, Mr. Surod, I think because you used a very short time in the first round. So give you extra minute on this second round to see, after hearing, I think the three ladies are showing that, from the university, from the MGTC, from the National Research Organization, BRINS, all are addressing, I think, the transformation that we found in the world, whether agriculture, whether robotics, whether low carbon. In your opinion, as an EV manufacturer, a rather big one, what do you see the benefit of sinking the industrial demand, into this preparation for the labor force skill force as well? And I think this question may also be applicable to Mr. Atit after Mr. Road. Please.
Actually, as I mentioned in the first round, that green talent is really required. I was talking only about the industry. Actually, there are many more required, including the charging station, as you mentioned. Waste management is also very important. And how do we take care of it? Because right now, 80% of the EV in ASEAN is running in Thailand. So in the next 5-6 years, there will be a lot of waste battery in the country. So right now, at the moment, we have no clear process on how to handle it, and that's from the government part. And also in the Green Thailand, we also rack up our personnel to handle it, and also experience and skill to handle it. Okay, and as you mentioned about the charging station in Malaysia, in Thailand, actually we have about, right now throughout the country, it's about 8,700 DC and AC. But if you look at only DC alone, it's only 3,800 something. Okay, so nobody wants to stop by in the middle way and charge the AC. So we should only count the DC. Okay, and we also, I'm not quite sure whether we have any certificate or not. I don't think we do have, but we do installation, including the AC. As we sell the car, many brands also provide the wall box together with the center of the car. So we need people to install that as well. So the 8,800 excluding the home AC charger. Okay, but if you compare to amount of the EV running in Thailand, it's 130,000 at the moment, and over 90,000 is the passenger car. Okay, and with this amount, there is not enough charging station. So I've been using EV for 3 years. If you want to go to Chiang Mai or up country, I still using the ICE. Because I don't know whether if I stop by it according to the database, we have the charging station. I'm not quite sure whether it's working or not when the time I arrive. Okay, and also including we as an EVAT, we have signed the MOU together with the vocational department, school department, to help to train because we as an industrial part, so we have our engineer trained by the mother company on the technology. So after we join the EVAT, then we have the group of many OEM can do the training to the teacher and also to the student eventually. Okay, so that after the student graduate, there are not a big supply or big gap to train to repair or to diagnose the car. Okay, and not only the car industry, it's also the solar collector system. This is also another world that we also, I don't know the figure about the solar, but everywhere I go in Thailand, I saw the solar panel. But I'm not sure about how we install it, how do we maintain the battery, how do we handle the use of battery. This I'm not quite sure, okay, but I'm sure that a lot of them in the country of Thailand. Okay. And the people who don't have the green talent in the future, the country who don't have enough people with the green talent, I think will be, as you mentioned, will be critical. Okay. Because right now in the future, if we don't have the small carbon footprint, then as you mentioned, nobody would like to utilize or to join. Okay. In Thailand also we try to focus on the carbon tax. Okay. Because right now everybody say that, oh, we are going for EV. Okay. Who is the one who determined that the EV will be the new energy vehicle in the future? Actually, I'm also, as an EVAT member, I'm also not saying that EV is maybe the future of the vehicle. But if you're going toward the zero carbon, EV is the technology that you can touch today. Okay, so if you don't go for EV in the future, then we go to the next step. But it's what we can, the technology we can touch today. Okay. That's all for me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ruud. Please give me a second round of applause, please. I think it's important to become practical. I think I can listen to him, that you have to look at the near front solution, what we can touch now, or not, of course we can touch in the future. When you see a movie where we can control the weather and decarbonize any sector, you need to...
One small part, as an EV manufacturer, okay, many people always ask me, but your energy, your electric came from fossil, so it's not green. Okay, please don't ask me because I'm not the Prime Minister. Okay, but actually I prepare in the part that I'm responsible to be ready for green. Okay, so you want about how the energy come from, please ask the electric authority. Maybe, but everybody, if every department in the supply chain going toward the same direction, I am sure we will be green.
Yes. Thank you. So next time I see Prime Minister, I'll ask you a question. Okay. Okay, now the same question to Piatit Kap.
Thank you, Kap. I'm going to confirm that we need green, definitely. So whatever we try to do right now, we cannot avoid two things: digital and green. So it shall come together. We cannot avoid. So in the area that the industrial society try to move forward, we try to talk about carbon reduction certificate, carbon neutrality, together with the green direction, whether energy efficiency and renewable energy. So another very important area that I like to ask for the Education Institute to be aware is the measurement and verification protocol or international standard. Right now in Thailand we have very few, less than 47 MNV certified as the international standard. Right? Last year we add 12 people in Thailand, and from the I'm the ex chairman of the Energy Service Company Association in Thailand, and we think that to promote renewable energy efficiency with the right way, we need to have enough qualified person who to be certified on measurement and verification. Because right now we not only to prove that our job successfully enough from the result which properly identify and under the international standard like MNV on EE and IE. We have to be able to digitalize, transfer this data to carbon reduction certificate also. So we can do two things at the same time. Is we have qualified enough protocol and platform that when we monitor data from energy efficiency project or renewable energy project to present the result of the energy efficiency reduction, we have to be able to prove that this is the carbon reduction certificate that we can prove also. So under digital knowledge and measurement and verification knowledge is very crucial requirement that we have to have enough qualified person that be able to handle this thing. That's one point. Other things related to EV, we think that we also lag behind a lot on grid modernization or qualify distribution system and transmission system that flexible and capable enough to prepare for the huge growth of EV. So this is the other area that we also very worry, and you may see that it's not only passenger car, EV bus, EV truck, EV train coming very soon, will come very soon. And if we're not capable to expand, to develop our distribution grid, microgrid or any high-level transmission system to be good enough and apply renewable energy as much as possible to be green electricity that required for EV. So we're going to have another big trouble, not only long queue to charging station, we will have the big trouble on reliability and availability of our power supply also. So these two areas that we need to have enough talented people, talented team to serve the country requirement.
Thank you very much. Give him a second round of applause, please. So I think the key word I heard is also there's a two topic that maybe the three lay speaker can address. Is first the measurement and verification of the carbon footprint. I think that will be something that can be declared and also to be able to survive in the future market when everyone is asking for your carbon footprint, CFP or CFO, carbon footprint organization. And secondly, is about the grid. I think that one is also, of course, like to echo Mr. Surod, that it's not the EV itself that can be clean, but of course the electricity, the source of the energy has to be clean as well. So let me go another round, for the three ladies here. And when you hear all these things about this changing technology and changing industry, what would you like to add on your behalf of your organization or your program that maybe can help industry getting more green talent, as mentioned previously? So please, Professor Sumonman.
Okay, thank you very much. After listening for everyone and also whole day here, I just thinking about we have to mix and match for the demand side and supply side. I hear a lot from industrial side, and also everyone in this room also know the scenario that will going very soon. We need the talent for EV, we need the skills and certified worker to I think it's not disrupt, it's already gone. but we have to prepare for my side as the university people, that I think how we prepare the people that can understand the quick move of technology and need, And as all of us mentioned, okay, we have to talk about carbon credit. Who can certify? How many people can certify? Especially in Thailand, I don't know how many, an organization that can, okay, for regulation or law that we can find. As I do about the local economy in many provinces in Thailand, I found that, not I, we found that in S&M industry also need to educate and grooming about the trend of the movement. Actually, my background is plastic engineering, and 10 years ago, I talked before I do about the policy. I'm the plastic engineering researcher, and try to talk about many the company owner. You have to stop to use the HDPE, LDPE. It's gonna be disappear within 5 years or 7 years. Then if you only produce the straw or PET or bag, plastic bag, if someday government and the world said no anymore, and they don't believe at that time, and then right now 7 years ago he come back again. Okay, please help. Right now I cannot sell any straw and bag because his companies produce only 2 things. This have to also grooming both sides, not only in university or in of course the big company have the research team. They can tie forecast and scenario. I do believe that in Asian country we have a lot of huge gap between the understanding what happened, what will happen very soon somehow, and we have to prepare the people that come up with idea and asking the people here, a group of people that understanding and we know what happened very soon, how we can help the situation, and also just like that and promote things like a group of young people to understanding like camping or youth camp to understand, because 5 years and 6 years I think is coming. I come up with this idea this round. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Give a second round of applause, please, for emphasizing the mix and match between demand and supply, and I think that also something to reflect to both sides. So next, may I move to Madame Rosina? So any comment that you want to give to the floor?
Okay, I agree with our speaker. Mix and match, and also have to mapping between the supply and also demand. And also I do agree with 2 gentlemen there. Actually, the whole value chain, everybody has a role to play. It's just not only the industry saying that we want this or those, but then everybody have to play. So I think the roadmap for a certain talent and those needs to be able to include everybody.
Thank you. Give me a second round of applause. I think very key, important. I like this mapping the mix and match. So 3M now, we have that in there. And also everyone has to understand a role. I think that would be echoing similar to Professor Movement that we start to engage the project. So last but not least, Madam Sakina, please.
Yes, yes, I do agree with all the speakers in here. Yes, so mix and match, demand and supply, but I think we also should listen to the green talent itself, to the potential green talent itself. What are their expectations from being a green talent? I think we also have to listen to them also, so that we are not only training them, giving them, loading them with some skill and knowledge, but we also have to listen. What are their expectations? What do they wish for? And then what are the future that we can promise to the green talent? I think that will be also important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Give a second round of applause for Christina. I think very nice to listen to the green talent, and often time, when at this age, it's my age, I keep talking, green, low carbon technology, and all the young talent, like, why are you putting the burden on me, on this generation? What have I, in my generation, done? I think why me? Why all of a sudden, like all the world's hot and global boiling, and now you're expecting me to solve your problem? So anyway, I think we have listened to all the 5 excellent speakers, and let's give them the final round of applause, please. Thank you very much. I think, and now return back to the MC, and thanks for staying until the end. So applause to yourself too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to an end of today's session. And on behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation of Thailand, I would like to thank all speakers, distinguished delegates, and all participants for your efforts and contributions for a successful event. I hope you have a good evening and see you again next year. Thank you and Swadee Kha.